In our last science lesson, we talked about the way that heat transfers from one object to another. And if you remember, we discussed there were three ways that heat could transfer its energy, and that would be conduction, convection, and radiation. And conduction, remember, occurs when heat moves between two materials that are touching, and they have to be touching for conduction to happen. And then convection occurs when heat is transferred from one area to another area by the movement of matter, often in air or water. And then radiation is a transfer of energy that occurs when there's no matter for it to transfer through. And electromagnetic waves possess energy and can transport it through the vacuum of space, meaning that, remember we said examples of it like the sun warming something on the earth, or maybe a microwave heating up popcorn. Those are examples of radiation. They don't touch, and there's no matter for it to travel through. So those are the three ways that heat energy can be transferred. Well, this morning we're going to do, I'm going to do a demonstration for you on that shows you how conduction works, and then later on, probably on Monday, there'll be another video demonstration on convection and radiation. So I hope that, and hopefully this will help you remember the differences in the three. So the first one, though, we're going to need 3 balloons and a candle. And we're going to see if we can hold the balloon on top of the flame. It has to touch. And if we can figure out a way to keep that balloon from popping. So I want you to think about, do you think the balloon will pop if I hold it onto a flame? Or do you think that it won't pop? Okay, because we're going to find out in a few minutes. This is one you just need to watch me do. All right, so I'm going to hold this balloon. I'm going to touch it with the candle to it. And I want you to think about, what do you think is going to happen when I touch this balloon to the candle? And I want you to make a hypothesis. An hypothesis just means, what do you think is going to happen if you're just making kind of like it's called an educated guess, like based on what you know, make a hypothesis what you think is going to happen. Now, at the end of our experiment, you may prove that your hypothesis is correct, or it may end up turn out differently, and that means your hypothesis is incorrect. But that's okay, because the whole point is to prove that it's either correct or that it's not correct. And that's how real scientists, when they're working, that's what they also do. So it's okay if you're wrong. But so go ahead and decide what you think is going to happen to this balloon when I hold it over the candle, okay? All right. So I'll hold it, onto the candle. Well, if you said you thought the balloon was going to pop, then your hypothesis was correct. And the reason that balloon popped was because the materials the balloon that the balloon was made out of were weakened by the heat, and then that caused air pressure in the balloon to build up until it couldn't take the pressure anymore, and it just exploded or popped. So that is why that balloon popped. But let's try it again and make sure. So we got the same kind of balloon. We've got to relight my candle though. All right. So again, I'm going to remember, I've got to touch it to the candle. Well, so it popped again. Wow. Is there any way that we can keep a balloon from popping when it touches heat? So I hope that you understand a little more about how conduction works. And our experiment proved that when we touch the balloon to our heat source, which is our candle, and the candle transferred its heat energy to the balloon. It caused that balloon, the material the balloon was made from, to weaken, and then the air in the balloon kept expanding and building up pressure, and then it popped. And so that shows that heat energy does transfer from one object to another. Remember, the heat always transfers to a cooler object, which the balloon would be cooler than the candle. And so that is how conduction works, all right? Now the next one we're going to do when I come back will be radiation. All right, see you soon.